Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and I'm a hot messy mama. Today I'm going to be trying a couple new products. I've got the new VEIVE, well this is the InvisiVeil setting spray, but I do also have, which I already have ordered a refill for because I flew through my first bottle, but the new Skin Nova Complexion Balm foundation they came out with. Jamie's been wearing it incognito without mentioning it for weeks and weeks, probably months really. It looks stunning. It looks right up my alley, so I'm very excited to try it. So that will be the main concentration of this video, but I will also try some of the new RAVIE beauty blushes. So if those look like interesting products that you want to know more about and get my over 40 opinions on, please keep watching. VEIVE just released the Skin Nova Complexion Balm. It is part of the Skin Nova line. I am gonna go ahead and just use this as my base, as my primer. It's very hydrating, gives a little bit, you can see it gives a little bit of sheen, but no chunky glitter, no sparkle. It works well on every skin tone. It's got a little bit of a golden haze cast, if you will, but it doesn't leave any visible pigment really on the skin. Just a nice, super hydrating, comfortable, beautiful smell. The scent is amazing, and the setting spray, the InvisiVeil, also has that same scent. But yeah, it's not offensive, it's not very strong, it's not floral. It's just sort of lightly neroli, bergamot, sort of spa, zen, very lovely scent. But anyway, I love I love Skin Nova. It is my all-time favorite primer. I wear it almost every day. So I was very excited when I heard the balm foundation was going to be part of the Skin Nova line. So this is the VEIVE Skin Nova Complexion Balm standard VEIVE packaging, the black cardboard with the gold printing, which is often too small to read with human eyeballs, at least 43-year-old, almost 44-year-old human eyeballs. Okay, a little bit about it from the website. It says Skin Nova Complexion Balm delivers a natural looking second skin finish that feels as good as it looks. With a medium to buildable coverage available in 20 flexible shades, the formula stretch means it adapts seamlessly to your skin tone, evening out your complexion effortlessly and giving you that coveted your skin but better look. Whether you're looking for a lightweight everyday foundation or something that can be built up or sheared down for customizable coverage, Skin Nova Complexion Balm has you covered. Inspired by our Holy Grail bestseller Skin Nova, the innovative foundation formula combines the best of skincare and makeup. It's formulated with hardworking skincare ingredients to give you a naturally radiant complexion. Polyglutamic acid, a hydration powerhouse, helps to replenish cell moisture, whilst niacinamide evens out skin tone, and vegan collagen amino acids plump the look of skin. The directions just say apply using a brush, sponge, or your fingers, building coverage as desired. I got the shade 210. There is a very good shade range. It goes very deep and very light. Comes in a lovely little tube, so it's very easy to use, and the cap is quite large, so it's very easy to, it's easy to take off and hold on to as I literally drop it. My point is, it's not very difficult to open if you have dexterity issues, which I do. You get a full ounce of product, a little more information on the back here, and it does have the needle tip, as Jamie put it, so you can either apply it directly to your face in precise areas, you can put it on the back of your hand. As I mentioned, I have on just the Skin Nova, and before that, my Kiehl's Better Screen SPF. It is early fall, but it's still pretty warm. I sweat a lot around my hairline, so I'll pay attention to where it lasts around there. And yeah, let's get it on. They also came out with a new brush, which I will use to apply it. This is the, and I love how their brush packaging comes out like this. This is the, what number is it? The 115 Sculpted complexion brush. Yes, dear.
I ate it up.
Okay, good. I'm finishing up my video. Thank you. Are you gonna stay in here? If you are, you're gonna have to be quiet. All right, so I'm gonna start there, 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 and a little down my nose, and a tiny bit on my chin. All right, the brush, just so you can see, has an angle tip, a little bit smaller than like the wedge from Smith, although these brushes are designed with Smith Cosmetics. They're smaller than I was expecting it to be, but we'll see how we get on with it. Immediately I can see this is a perfect color for me. Let's see. It blends out nicely. I'll be honest, I'm not loving this brush. It's very flimsy. Like you can see it bends very easily. So I feel like I'm not quite getting the force I would normally want, but it's not bad at all. I probably would like it more for cream blush or cream bronzer. Jamie uses it for everything, all of her cream products. But so far, can I just say, the Complexion Balm looks beautiful. Oh my goodness. I mean, not that I expected any less. I am biased. I am a huge Jamie Genovese fan. I love her brand, VEIVE. I've loved almost everything they've come out with. Take some down my neck. Wow, that is a really perfect shade match. Let me zoom you in. That looks pretty, excuse me, that looks pretty good. I'm going to try and build a little more coverage where I've got the most skin damage over here and over here. I did also just pick up the new LYS stick tint, foundation tint stick, which I tried yesterday and was lovely. But to be fair, I had also tried on the Patrick Ta foundation in the store, which I want to pick up. I'm gonna wait for the sale, however, that's coming up in November, the annual sale, because it is very expensive and they didn't have my shade in stock anyway. They had the next closest one, but I wanted to wait for the more perfect shade match, which was an olive undertone, and they didn't have it. So I'm gonna wait till the sale because I don't need that many foundations. Anyways, I already have a bajillion and 10, so. Okay, so that built up a little bit more coverage. It is still light to medium. I would not call it full coverage at all, but you can see much more of my sun damage is covered than was before. There's a slight radiance to this finish. I mean, not slight, it's definitely a radiant finish, but it's not greasy or shimmery. What I've heard is that it's also really great for oily skin. I don't have oily skin. I sweat a lot, but I don't have oily skin. So I cannot speak to that. I do pretty much have dry skin. But it feels amazing, feels very hydrating, and so far it looks great. I'm gonna go ahead, finish up my makeup, come back for some final first day thoughts, and then I will add a second day wear test to this as well, just to get a little bit more solid opinion, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be awesome. So I'll see you in a few. Okay, the rest of my face has been done. To blush, RAVIE Beauty came out with 3 baked blush shades. These are the Endless Diffusion Everyday Baked Blush. RAVIE is Ali Glein's brand. They already have the Effortless Lips, which are the slim lipstick, balmy, beautiful formula. I have all 6 shades of those. So the baked blushes, here's the packaging. Of course, because they're baked, you know, they have the dome. So the packaging is fairly thick, but it is a very nice thick acrylic. Like, it does not look cheap. And then of course the name is on the back, very easy to read. Thank you very much, Allie, I appreciate that. The shades are Paradise, Oasis, and Daydream. This one is Paradise. They're all marbled, very Laura Geller, old school baked blush appearance and formula. The new Kosas blushes, also very similar. Even the Milani, like Luminoso, was this same kind of baked blush formula. So here is Paradise. Very pretty. All right, the next shade is Oasis. This is the brightest one. I love the packaging, is very sleek and just simple, effortless, but elegant also, which explains Allie perfectly, so it makes sense. Again, this is the shade Oasis. It looks super bright in the pan, but like the name implies, these are endless diffusion, so you can blend them, build them for deeper skin tones, or you can blend them for lighter. Ooh, that is a gorgeous, gorgeous pink shade. Again, that's Oasis. And then last, but certainly not least, the shade Daydream. This is the most, I believe, kind of peachy nude of the bunch. This is Paradise, the one I've already swatched, and this is Daydream. So they're not drastically different. Paradise is a little more browny, pinky, like rosy brown, and Daydream is a little more peachy. So which finger have I not used? Okay, I did not use this finger yet. They're very smooth to the touch. Again, that same marbled. What I like, however, is when you rub across the surface, the marbling doesn't disappear. So it is baked all the way through in that marbled pattern. So this is Daydream, Paradise, and Oasis. Let me see if I can build up Daydream a little more. Okay. There you go. Again, Daydream, Paradise, Oasis. Very lovely, smooth. I think with my kind of golden eye, I'm gonna go in with Paradise, the middle shade. Let's see how these apply. I'm gonna use the same brush I always use. Oh no, I'm not, because Allie came out with a brush too. I forgot, almost forgot. This is her blush brush, easy enough. I did get a set, by the way, with all three blushes. Her line is very reasonably priced. I got all three of these and the brush for less than $100. So the brush is very soft. It's got the same appearance as all the BK brushes and the IT Cosmetics brushes, where they're kind of multi shades of, I don't know why that is or what that is, if it's just different bristles or what, but it's dense but fluffy. It is more dense than my normal blush brush, which is the one from the Ariel collection, the A22, which is my all-time favorite blush brush. This looks like it may be comparable because it is so fluffy at the top but has some denseness to it. I think you can kind of use it to build up or diffuse, depending on your goal. Take a little bit. It's a pretty light shade anyway. My bronzer was kind of heavy, now that I'm thinking about it. So you're not getting a really full display of color on that first layer, but this one I kind of built up more on the brush, and now you can really see a kind of rusty, rosy, rusty, hints of brown. Oh, it's a beautiful shade. And no glitter, but there is a slight sheen, as most baked blushes will provide. Oh, that's absolutely stunning. That's beautiful. I'm, again, not that I would expect any less from Allie. Her and Jamie are two of my all-time favorite beauty creators, content creators, and they have made beautiful brands, both of them. I have no doubt everything RAVIE comes out with is going to be beautiful. This blush is stunning. Look at that sheen. It's very diffused. Look how blurred my cheek looks. Here, I'll zoom you in a little. You can really see how blurred. And the Complexion Balm is holding up very well. My skin damage is still equally as covered as it was before. This has been a good makeup day. I am very pleased with all of the products that I have tried so far. All right, that I'm not even gonna add any more highlighter, I don't think, because I've got enough glow. I've got the highlight where I want it. Well, okay, I'm gonna take just what's left over on my highlighter brush from yesterday and just put a little bit right here. And then I'm gonna go back over it with the blush brush to kind of just bring everything together, which I always would do, whether I'm using cream blush, powder blush, doesn't matter. I always do highlight after blush and then go back over with the blush brush. But yeah, this is looking gorgeous. I always double setting spray, so I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the D'Alba White Truffle, and then top it with InvisiVeil. You can see this just came out like 2 months ago, and this is what I have left of the first bottle, which is why I promptly ordered a backup and a backup of the mascara. So I do also have the Singe Beauty blushes to try, Angelica Nyquist brand. So those will be coming up probably in a short, however. And I did want to point out, with every bottle of, or every complexion balm, the Skin of a Complexion Balm purchase, they gave away a travel size of the Skin Nova. So very cool. Always love to get bonuses. So I will open my new one very soon of the InvisiVeil setting spray. Again, it is the same formula, I'm sorry, same scent as the Skin Nova. The Complexion Balm, I did not notice the scent when I was applying it. So I don't think there's any fragrance, even though it's part of the Skin Nova line. I don't think it was scented. I'm gonna use the Dewy Plump Collagen Plumping Gloss from VIEVE. I hope they're not going out of business. All their stuff has been on sale at Sephora recently, and they don't even sell on their own website anymore. So I really, really hope they're not going out of business, because the VIEVE mascara is my all-time holy grail mascara. And these lip plumps are beautiful. It's a thick, cushiony, pillowy formula that stays on the lips. It's comfortable, just a slight vanilla scent, and the shades are beautiful and pigmented. I also love this bright pink shade, which I believe is peony as well. And then this one is Hibiscus, which is the very neutral nude shade. I could have gone in with a liner, but I'm going to my nephew's football game and not super concerned with my lip. I'll be touching up with the lip gloss as needed. This is the final look using the Skin Nova Complexion Balm from VEIVE. Again, I'm in the shade 210. It looks beautiful so far. Very blurred. All my bits I want to cover are covered. The blush looks beautiful. We'll see how it wears, but so far, my over 40, pretty dry skin is loving it. It feels good. It looks good. Let's see how it wears. I'm gonna be sweating a little bit. It's gonna be in the low 80s. I'll be at a football game, so I'll be outside, so we can probably get a really good idea of how this foundation will last. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. This is day 2 of my VIEVE Skin Nova Complexion Balm. That's still so hard to say. Try on, wear test. Yesterday did not go well. I went, as I mentioned, I was going to a football game. We were sitting on bleachers that were reflecting the intense sun. It was only in the mid 80s, but it felt like 100 degrees on those bleachers. And as I mentioned, I do sweat a lot, and I was blotting my forehead with a napkin, and by halftime, all of my forehead makeup was gone. My eyes had been watering, so I had chunks missing right here, so I just went in the bathroom and wiped off everything but my eye makeup, and we will try this again in a less sweaty situation. I mean, that does kind of show that nothing I wore yesterday stands up to aggressive sweat. Even with the InvisiVeil, which is supposed to be pretty long wear. I don't know, maybe the Patrick Star hairspray setting spray, which I do have, maybe that would have worked better. This one, the On Till Dawn sweat proof. So if I'm in another situation where I'm heavily going to be sweating, I will try this. I did hear some of the people in the VIEVE, like, you know, all their social media posts and stuff. Someone did say they've been wearing it all summer, testing it through the London heat, and it worked well, but maybe she's not an aggressive sweater. So anyway, let's try this again. I'm going in with Skin Nova right now as my primer, which again is my favorite everyday primer. And I am gonna go in with my Beauty Bio under eye. This is the Eyelighter treatment. I use this every day. It helps my concealer wear better. It helps smooth out my under eyes, brighten them, and it honestly has reduced my dark under eye circles tremendously since I've been using it for about a year now, I'd say. Okay. Let's go in again. Again, I'm in shade 210. Since you've already seen me apply it, I'm going to kind of speed through this part. You know, I wasn't super thrilled with this brush for foundation. It's just too flimsy for me. I could use a sponge, but I think I'm gonna stick with a brush. Maybe I'll use my fingers. Maybe I'll use my fingers. Maybe I'll get better coverage this way. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of blend it out with my fingers, and then I'll go back in with either a sponge or the brush I picked up. And honestly, using my fingers, I probably use too much product now that I'm seeing how it spreads with the fingers. Let's pull it down my neck. Definitely looking more golden today in real life. I'm not sure. Again, I think it's just because I'm using my fingers and it hasn't really, as you can see, it's just kind of sitting on top of my skin right now. So I am gonna go in, this is the BO2 from Refer, one of their synthetic brushes. And I'm just kind of patting and pushing it in as opposed to super blending. My goal is to keep as much coverage as possible by pushing it in as opposed to buffing. Since I want a little bit less coverage under my eyes, since I am gonna go in with a concealer, I am gonna kind of buff in that area. That looks pretty good. Let's zoom in a little more. decent coverage. You can still see some of my sun damage poking through, but my skin tone is very evened out. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna go in with the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. We're back. Eyes are done. I am kind of obsessed with this eye look. I used mostly the Mario Ethereal palette, and I stuck to these kind of rosy tones over in this half of the palette. Actually, those rosy tones, and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And then on the lid is this. Anyway, I feel like I look a little blurry, so my apologies if I do. We're gonna go in with Daydream from Ally Klein's new RAVIE. This is the Endless Diffusion Everyday Baked Blush in the shade Daydream, and I'm gonna use her brush again. Whew. That is peachy. It does diffuse beautifully. That name, again, is really right. Her line has been so beautiful. I know there's only 2 products, well, and the denim floral makeup bag, which is also beautiful and very big. You can fit an entire face in there, and skincare too, probably. But yeah, this, I love the brush. It's perfect for these blushes. And you can see it really ties in with the eye shade as well, the kind of rosy peach. Oh, that's pretty. Little bit of sheen, but no glitter. It's not over the top. Oh, that is lovely. That's really lovely. I'm gonna put a little more, just build a little bit more up back here. I was watching Alexandra Anel. Is it Anel or Anale? I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I'm sure you know who she is. She's got 1 million+ followers, and she does very unique videos, but most of them are instructional tutorial style, which I love. Anyway, she just did a video on Monica Bellucci, the Italian actress, and like making her signature look for your face. But she talked about doing her blush lower, more in the contour zone instead of up high on the cheeks, which is what I've also been doing recently. So I'm kind of focusing it more down where the contour is to really accentuate those cheekbones, and I'm kind of here for it. I mean, I will put a little right here on the front too, but oh, that is absolutely beautiful. Ally, job well done. And I must say, the foundation looks fantastic. I like it much better. I have more coverage today, I think, because I went in with my fingers first and then patted it in, you know, this patting motion with my brush, and I have way better coverage. It looks beautiful. And you know what? I think part of my problem yesterday is this setting spray adds so much glow and moisture on top of an already very hydrated base of products with primer and skincare, and the foundation is also hydrating. I think that's kind of why everything just sort of came off. Today is a much cooler day. It's only gonna be in the mid-70s. I'm not gonna be outside in the sun. There is no sun. It's actually very hazy today. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this again today. But if my makeup does not last, I am not gonna use this again at least with this foundation. So, and I'm gonna really let it dry. Usually I do that first and then go in with the InvisiVeil or any other setting spray right away. But I'm gonna really dry this one first, and then I'm gonna go in with the InvisiVeil, which again, I'm almost out of. And I'm actually gonna go back in with the blush brush again and add a little bit more. Again, I didn't add any more product to this brush. This is just what was on it. I still feel like I need more blush. Do I need more blush? Is that just my problem that I always use too much blush? It may be a problem. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more. It's so pretty. My skin looks really blurred and diffused from both the blush and the foundation. It really is lovely. I'm gonna pat in this area so I don't take away any coverage where I have the most sun damage. And just a little bit across my nose there. And take a little bit like this to really connect those. Okay. Again, this is Daydream from RAVIE Beauty. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with this blush. Where the hell is the blush going? Where is it going? Where is it going? It's so pretty, but it keeps disappearing. Okay, time for my first check-in. It has been about 2.5 hours. I went to brunch with my son, so I did eat blotted around my mouth, but everything looks pretty good. The blush, it's still visible, but I will say I feel like this blush fades very quickly beyond the like base layer. The first layer I put on is still there, but any building up of it I did, I feel like has kind of dissipated a little bit. I feel like I want more. You'll have already seen in the try on, I put more layers on like 6 times. And it's so pretty. I just wish it lasted a little longer and didn't go away. Even with like a really good Longwear Veil setting spray, it's still kind of came off a little bit, but it's still very much present. It's just, I like a bold blush, and it's, I feel like it did kind of wear off a little bit, but the skin still looks really good. All of my bronzer, all of my foundation are intact. My under eyes look decent. I will take my powder brush again and just kind of go back under here. No new product, just what was on there to kind of reinforce the blurriness and setting underneath my eyes and on my forehead. I'm just gonna go back in a little bit, but everything still looks great. We'll see how we do at the end of the night, but as of now, it all looks beautiful. Still thrilled, still blurred, no budging. Yeah, no fading. I'm still just as covered with my sun damage as I was before I left. So yeah, looking good so far. I will check back in later tonight with final thoughts for both of these products. Okay, welcome back. Final check-in. Everything's looking decent. My cheeks look okay. Again, the blush is all but gone. I apologize, it's nighttime, so my lighting is limited. Along my forehead line here, let me zoom you in some. You can see I definitely have a little bit of loss of coverage just right at the hairline up here, but nothing drastic. I think it's probably mostly the bronzer As you can see in the middle of my forehead, it all looks pretty even. Skin tone is even, it looks intact. A little bit over here, again, where I sweat the most, some loss of coverage up until my upper cheekbone over here. And same thing on the other side. You can even see I did some housework, some chores, so I definitely did sweat a little bit, not as much as yesterday, but I did sweat some. Other than right here, the blush is pretty much disappeared, which is a bummer. I wish it was longer lasting, but it's beautiful as long as it stays on. But you know, that's really the case with almost every blush, especially powder blushes. They just don't hold on very well. But the foundation has held on decently. It's come off on my chin, around my mouth. I did eat dinner. So in conclusion, if you sweat a lot, use a long wearing setting spray, a long wearing primer, but it is a beautiful finish. Evens the skin tone, blurs. Is it the best foundation for the price? Probably not. I'm biased. I'm obsessed with Jamie Genevieve and the brand VEIVE. But yeah, it's lovely. I will absolutely continue to wear it almost every day unless I want a little more coverage. And again, a little more long wear because I do sweat kind of a bit. But the blush was beautiful. Again, wore off faster than I would have liked. They're all pretty okay. I love the brands and I wanted them to be a tiny bit more long wearing, but it is what it is. I'm a sweater. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, share, all the things, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.